If we say that the patterns of behavior that the individual learns in coping with the environment, then we can infer from that then that the kind of environment the individual inhabits will influence the kind and patterns of behavior he will evidence as a person. An individual then who is seeking for power, who then wants to create people so that they would have a definite relationship to him, will say then that the first thing I must control is what? The environment. I must create an environment because the individual, if he's to survive in that environment, must learn to cope with it. And if it's a tough environment, he must learn to be tough if he's going to make it. If it's an environment that requires him to hustle, then he's got to learn how to hustle. And he's got to learn how to, and yet, after he learns all of these things, they're going to become a part of his personality. And in ways they're going to help him, and in ways they're going to stand against him. And therefore, if I create the environment, I can, to a good extent, create the individual. And therefore, the people in power will read the statement and they will go back to their planning boards and say, how can I create the environment such that Black people will be dumb? They will be ignorant. They will hate themselves. They will lack disunity in their relationships one with the other. They will see me as the final validator of truth. They will see my acceptance as the ultimate acceptance. How can I create in them that mentality? And you will see them then creating the appropriate environment. The invasion of this community by Asians and other ethnic groups is a part of the creation of the mentality and personality of Black people. It's going to create your children out here. As they walk down these blocks, their personality is being formed as they learn to so-called cope and deal with this situation out here. And to the extent that we sit back and let it happen, to that extent, we're participating also in their creation. It goes on to say, for social learning theorists, behavior is the result of a continuous interaction between personal and environmental variables. Environmental conditions shape behavior through learning. A person's behavior, in turn, shapes the environment. There's a reciprocal relationship. We create the environment and we create a behavior orientation. And then the person with the behavior orientation, what? Recreates his environment. You put him in a slum, and then he develops slummy behavior. And then once he develops slummy behavior, he will make slums wherever he goes. And then we will say that he's a slummy person by nature. You know, that's the game. Create it. Create that environment. So it's to create the personality. And you see, it's a slick game. And often you see as people, we are not aware of the first creation. How was the first creation brought about? The only thing we often see as a result of the creation, and we see ourselves behaving in a certain sort of way, and the other group then says, you behave that way because you're Black. You behave that way because you're African. You see, and when you fail then to see how the situation was created, then one begins to condemn himself in terms just of himself. And this is why knowledge of how the situation was created is very, very important. This is why ultimately when one gets to know himself, he gets to know other people. You cannot know yourself well and not know other people and ultimately know the universe. The route to getting to know the universe and to getting to know what is going on in the world is through the self, ladies and gentlemen.
What is good, my people? We are live back again with another live broadcast on the forecast. Yo, shouts out to Blanca, who is in the building already. You know, shouts out to Blanca J. It's been a minute since, well, I don't know. It's been, well, I ain't been on here in a minute, you know, so that's why it's been a minute. It's been me. What's going on, my brother Anthony? All right, I'll put the link in there. Um, you know, and like I said, it's been a minute since I've been on here, you know, and y'all welcome to come on here. There's a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. Like I said, I ain't gonna try to be on here too long, but I'm gonna try talk about as much of this stuff as I want, as I can talk about. But so yeah, man, I know it's been a little minute since I've been and I'm gonna try to get back to definitely the regular scheduled program now that a lot of the BS is over. You know what I'm saying? So all right, hold on one second. All right. Let me see. Okay, yeah. All right. So yeah, I know it's been a little minute since I been on here, and we're gonna get to it, because a lot of us acting like we don't understand the personality or what America is or what everybody is, like it's brand new that we ain't got no damn friends and he's just unaware, you know what I'm saying? We just stuck in the same situation over and over, Let me just go ahead and start while I get on here. Like I said, whoever want to come up here, you can come, but now all right, yeah, I'll start with this one. I don't know if I had showed this one. It's like I said, these are some of the things that I didn't talk about over this time too, that I want to bring up. But it is certain points that we need to understand, So let me
People in Minneapolis want to know, why did it take police almost a week to arrest a white man accused of shooting and wounding his black neighbor? Now, the court documents allege this. The suspect, 54-year-old John Sawchek, harassed Davis Maturi for months before the shooting. This incident, by the way, was caught on video, and we have to give you a heads up on this. It's very disturbing to watch. The local police chief admits the department has failed Maturi, who is now recovering in the hospital. Jared Hill has the story.
This was the moment that Davis Maturi was shot while trimming a tree outside of his South Minneapolis home last Wednesday. Maturi was taken to the ER with a bullet stuck near his spine. Police and Maturi believe his next-door neighbor, John Sawchek, pulled the trigger.
I'm still in the hospital today because my neighbor shot me.
Maturi is now home recovering, and 5 days after the shooting.
I don't know if I played this one, so I'm going to play it anyway.
SWAT teams surrounded Sawchek's home, where there was a 5-hour standoff before Sawchek surrendered, booked on attempted murder, assault, stalking, and harassment charges. Maturi and his wife filed at least 19 police reports.
See, and I don't mean right, because you already know I'm about to get back on it, you know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, why even bother, wasting time to say this? Because this is going to come back and later on, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times Negroes out here, we thinking everything is sweet. We do think everything is sweet. And you definitely need a wake-up call, because I've been trying to tell you this whole damn time, you ain't no Americans, you ain't no citizens, this ain't yours, you don't have no friends, right? But we want to love every damn body, move around every damn body, right? Put our children in where they the only damn black people out there, because that's all we want to do is get away from blackness for real, right? We just want to be safe. You all think that we're safe. We want the illusion of safeness, right? It's sick, See, I ain't even gonna talk about this brother here, right? But we see what's going on around here, I don't know what's going on. But anyway.
His wife filed at least 19 police reports against Sawchek for months. The harassment, police say, was racially motivated.
Yeah, I don't like you.
And included violent threats.
Saying like, hey, if you touch that tree, things are gonna come down on you, things are gonna happen to you. It's clear that me calling everybody and anybody hasn't really done much.
The police department is facing backlash for not acting sooner.
We failed this victim 100%. Because that should not have happened to him. The Minneapolis police somehow did not act urgently enough to prevent that individual from being shot.
Sawchek is scheduled to appear in court later today.
So after shooting him, how did he get
Sawchek's home, where there was a 5-hour standoff before Sawchek surrendered, booked on shooting.
Sawcheck, you are under arrest.
SWAT team surrounded Sawcheck's home.
Yeah, peaceful. Now, see, and the thing is about all of this, right? I could say a lot of stuff and do a lot of stuff, right? That would get you all type of views. I can get on here. Now, if I say I had an expose on somebody, you know what I'm saying? Then all types of people are coming here. And if I keep going in, especially on another black person, especially, right? Because that's probably what I'm going to start doing, going in on all of them white boys and stuff like that y'all scared to talk to, right? But when we start talking about real stuff, like, this is the image we want to have, you know. Yeah, what's going on, Cassidra? And I was kind of waiting. Now I'm gonna play this one again, Cassidra. I don't know if you saw this, but I don't know if I saw it, but just listen to this. Now, this is the black man who was shot, right, by his neighbor, right? This the brother right here. This is gonna come back in and play later.
People in Minneapolis want to know, why did it take police almost a week to arrest a white man accused of shooting and wounding his black neighbor? Now, the court documents allege this. The suspect, 54-year-old John Sawcheck, harassed Davis Maturi for months before the shooting. This incident, by the way, was caught on video, and we have to give you a heads up on this. It's very disturbing to watch. The local police chief admits the department has failed Maturi, who is now recovering in the hospital. Jared Hill has the story.
This was the moment that Davis Maturi was shot while trimming a tree outside of his South Minneapolis home last Wednesday. Maturi was taken to the ER with a bullet stuck near his spine. Police and Maturi believe his next-door neighbor, John Sawcheck, pulled the trigger.
I'm still in the hospital today because my neighbor shot me.
Maturi is now home recovering, and 5 days after the shooting,
John Sawcheck, you are under arrest.
SWAT team surrounded Sawcheck's home, where there was a 5-hour standoff before Sawcheck surrendered.
5 hours, a week later, a 5-hour standoff before he surrendered peacefully after shooting his brother.
Booked on attempted murder, assault, stalking, and harassment charges.
Now, this is the young man here. I don't want to say nothing, but, you know, like I said, we might have to revisit this, because this is also a part of the personality of America, because we got to look at what we fit in as far as this personality of America here, you know.
Maturi and his wife filed at least 19 police reports against Sawcheck for months. The harassment, police say, was racially motivated.
I don't like you.
And included violent threats.
Saying like, hey, if you touch that tree, things are gonna come down on you, things are gonna happen to you. It's clear that me calling everybody and anybody hasn't really done much.
The police department is facing backlash for not acting sooner.
We failed this victim 100% because that should not have happened to him. The Minneapolis police somehow did not act urgently enough to prevent that individual from being shot.
Sawcheck is scheduled to appear in court later today. For CBS Mornings.
Standoff. If it was black, he better not walk across the street. Even if he ain't do nothing. Now, speaking of this, right? Because now I want to really show you, and let's examine the personality of America, because a lot of times this is what we do. We trying to escape this blackness, right? This is probably why this brother is over here like this. And then you end up the only Negro in all of these situations, right? But then guess what happened? Then you start having your children being the only Negro in situations where they can't even protect themselves, right? Now, I want you to look at this. Right, check this out. Now, these is the black football players in some high school, right? Check this out, man.
New information tonight about an ongoing
up,
Crime
Ra?
2 investigation at Meade High School. More victims have come forward claiming football players assaulted and harassed their own teammates, and their attorneys claim it was racially motivated. Crime 2 was the first to bring you an exclusive report last month, and since our story aired, 3 more victims have stepped forward saying it happened to them too.
2 more teenagers and their families are preparing to file a second lawsuit against the Meade School District, claiming they were not only assaulted at football camp last year, but have been repeatedly harassed and retaliated against ever since. It was first reported to
Look
Cheney.
at this. These white boys is holding a brother down, trying to put something in his. Y'all already know how gay they are. You know what I'm saying? Like, we know about European culture. I know y'all scared to say that because y'all love them so much. Y'all were probably willing to do it, but they holding this young man down, trying to like violate him, rape him, because this is what America was based off of, if you didn't know. Right? Because I know everybody is surprised. Oh, I can't believe whatever. They take that gay personality everywhere they go with them, right? And they be the ones talking about, oh, we don't want this and we don't want that. But that's just their culture. That's what they do. But we got our children subjected to this, and they got, I don't know how many of them holding this brother down, trying to put something in his butt, you know.
It was first reported to Cheney police in February as a sexual assault. Police records stating cell phone videos showed multiple teens assaulting teammates with a massage gun. And according to this newly filed tort claim by the Connolly Law Offices, the football camp held at Eastern Washington University every summer had a history of racial harassment, assaults, and intolerance against students of color, while coaches and administrators turned a blind eye. It also claims multiple players endured intimidation and routine racial slurs, calling them the N-word and monkeys, saying they were snitches and should be leashed. The documents go on to say Meade employees ignored their own policies and failed to initiate a thorough investigation, saying parents weren't notified until 8 months later.
We're very concerned.
Marcus Sweetser is the Spokane attorney representing 3 other alleged victims. We first spoke with him last month when he also questioned why Meade didn't do more sooner.
The Meade School District staff was aware of it very quickly, actually had conversations within the school internally about the incidents, but for reasons only known to them, decided not to inform the parents.
According to the school district's own internal investigation findings, 2 students were assaulted during the EWU football camp in acts with typical characteristics of hazing and may represent sexual harassment assault. And the district also insists it did investigate and offered to create safety plans for at least some of the alleged victims, but says those attempts were refused. The report
said they planned to make safety plans, but those plans to make plans were refused. I'm lost. It don't really matter.
Shows Meade principal Kimberly Jensen was informed of the cell phone videos in early December, but she claims it wasn't until late February that she actually watched the videos and then notified parents.
So she didn't watch the video of them raping this young man for 3 months, 2-3 months. If I was to guess, she's a white bitch probably, but if she is, she probably was watching him the whole time. If I was to guess.
Now, according to that newest tort claim, attorneys say the Meade district caused millions of dollars in damage to each of the victims.
Now, and speaking of this school, right? Now, this is just something that just happened like yesterday or today or whenever. Now, I'm just saying how quickly stuff works now.
Meade High School teachers and students are mourning the death of their fellow classmate who died in a car crash this morning. It happened near West Rudder Parkway and North Dorset Road. According to the Spokane County Sheriff's Office, the student crashed into a tree and died at the scene. Out of respect to the family, the school district is not sharing the name of the student. The district says it will be
probably one of them white boys who was in the picture just there. I hope.
Providing a crisis team and counseling to support students and staff.
Y'all can make of that what y'all want to make of it. But anyway, now it's not just that, it's your young daughters too that you have in these schools where they're the only Negro in town.
A brand new federal.
Yeah, it's not just, well, you know, and we're going to talk about all of these places, you know, and we talk, and especially the Negroes that's here now with us. These Negroes is my problem immediately, because look at what we're doing. We sick, and it's good because now we only need riders over here, because all of that talking, like, now we see where we at. We just want to be comfortable slaves and try to say you're not a slave, but please.
lawsuit is accusing the Cumberland
We know
Valley
a
School
lot of us
District,
said it.
its administrators, and even the school board of fostering a climate of bullying, harassment, and racial discrimination. CBS 21's Elise Person going all through those documents today, delving into those, and now has more on what this suit says is really happening out there.
Right, Joel D. It was a 40-page lawsuit filed by one African-American family right here at the Cumberland Valley School District. They say their daughter was a member of the cheerleading team here, and the suit goes into claiming that there was racially motivated bullying and harassment happening on that team. But one thing about the suit is it specifically names one board member as well. Take a listen. The Cumberland Valley School District, the superintendent, the high school principal, the athletic director, and each member of the school board, all named in a lawsuit filed on Thursday by a district family. The suit was filed by the parents of a 16-year-old who was on the high school cheerleading team for 2 years. They say the teen was subjected to bullying.
Now look at this cheer. It's all little white bitches. See, it's like, you see how we saw the little savage Neanderthal male. Now you see the savage Neanderthal female. There's no difference. Same thing, right?
At the hands of the coaches and teammates, even being told she was, quote, not cheerleader-like. But according to the documents, the teens traveled to Florida with the team for the UCA National High School Cheerleading Championship.
Now, do you see a black person in this picture or on this team at all? They must already did what they did to her, because I don't even see her in the picture. But she went to Florida with them.
During that overnight trip, the documents say the teen was brought by another teammate to a hotel room and was forced to get down on all fours and pretend to be an animal and act as if she was on a leash. Another teammate recorded the incident on her phone. Court documents say the teen now suffers from anxiety, depression, PTSD, and more because of the bullying and harassment she experienced from her coaches and teammates. One of the cheerleading coaches is married to Bud Schaffner, one of the school board members. Schaffner is the only board member specifically named in causing emotional harm and distress to the teen. I reached out to him for a response. On the phone, he told me he didn't know about any lawsuits. Your name in particular was mentioned in the suit. Schaffner then told me he could possibly comment another day once he reads over the lawsuit.
Now notice they ain't play his face, ain't show his face or play his voice. Right, and apparently one of the little white bitches is his daughter, right? So they already probably knew it was going down. But I mean, she's probably the only Negro girl in the school. But I see why now, because y'all will be like, oh, I ain't messing with, oh, it's black folk always. See, when people say that, I always knew it was like red flags. I ignored it myself, but like it's red flags when people start, oh, we's our own worst enemy. That's the truth. Like, no, what the hell we ain't. No, the hell we ain't. See, somebody who can control you to the point where you think you are your own worst enemy, even though they've done the most unspeakable, unthinkable things we can't even imagine, and you sitting there saying, "Oh, I'm the worst. We's the worst. It's all our faults. If only we's be better slaves and loves them enough." You know what I'm saying? Like, anyway.
Now, I did reach out to the school board president as well as the school district. School board president tells me that any comments would have to go through the district. The district, though, did not respond to my emails. It is important to note, though, that the school district did hire an outside law firm to investigate any claims of bullying on the cheerleading team. Just last month, the district released the details of that investigation, saying that no bullying was found. Live in Cumberland County.
All right. Now, I want to play this one because I want you to understand something. Like, when we be talking about all of these laws that we try to get passed, when we try to get comfortable, you know, the last time we were saying we want this hate crime. I don't understand why we don't comprehend that anything is never going to benefit. It's only anything they do is to hurt you, right? So if they pass something for you, it is to hurt you. If they are feeding you some BS, you know what I'm saying? It is to hurt you. And it's to keep you submissive, to allow them to keep sticking things into your butt, you know what I'm saying? Not to put it that way, but it is what it is. I want you to understand this, right? Now, check this out, right?
State Senate scandal. During a hearing on a proposed gun ban inside the Capitol building, a man uses a racial slur when talking about Detroit residents. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
Yeah, because it's not only that they wouldn't use it for us, they use it on us. All right, because that's the only time they'll understand. This is the only time they understand racism.
Scandal.
Right?
During a hearing on a proposed gun ban inside the Capitol building, a man uses a racial slur when talking about Detroit residents. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele in for Devin tonight. This pro-gun advocate claims the bill targets white people, but he went on to use offensive descriptions before being gavelled down and eventually dismissed by lawmakers. Will, walk us through how this all happened.
Ty and Kimberly, I spoke with the man at the center of this controversy. He has no remorse using the slur that many people find disgusting. He says he was trying to make a point.
13 to 34-year-old sub-Saharan African. Those are the people. We're going to move on.
Detroiter Avi Racklin doubling down on his use of a racial slur targeting black people while testifying at a Michigan Senate committee hearing.
So this is for those of you out there in Detroit, right? He said, you want to talk. Now, this is the thing, right? Because I want you to understand this, right? Remember before, right? When all them little white kids was getting shot up in the schools, you know, all you see is a bunch of Negroes sitting there talking about gun law. This is why we need gun safety law, when you need to be the one getting your damn candy bar before anybody else, right? But irony is you see these fools, or I don't know if irony is the right word, but you see these fools strapping up, right? I remember when they started talking about taking the guns and the bullets. Guess who was buying most of the guns, right? But you see Negroes sitting there talking about, yeah, look at all of these little white kids, you know what I'm saying, doing this and doing that, right? So this fool sitting there talking about, well, you know, it's the N-words doing the shooting and stuff like that, right?
Thursday about legislation that would permanently ban firearms from the state capitol and legislators' offices. Racklin argues it would unfairly impact white people instead of the people.
Now, if you don't remember, right, the famous instances when the Black Panthers showed up on the state capitol building, and that's what it is about. So he's saying this law about taking guns away, which we know who they're going to target with all of these laws. And this is on that one side, you know what I'm saying, who they are going to target when they start talking about gun bans and stuff like that. It's you, Negroes, who want to be able to defend yourself.
From the state capitol and legislators' offices. Racklin argues it would unfairly impact white people instead of the people responsible for gun violence in places like Detroit.
So your goal was to get attention?
Absolutely. I think that anybody who wants to push a policy of any sort wants to bring attention to the issue. And
see, and that's why he said that, because he knows, like, if you say that, then people are going to get outraged, right? And you know what? I'm going to use it anyway to prove a point, because it's something that I want you to see.
That's what I sought to do here, and clearly it worked.
After using the racial slur, he was quickly admonished by Democrats and Republicans on the committee.
Did I just hear you call a group of people by some epithet?
Yes.
No, damn well we do it on the low.
Inappropriate, and it will not get you anywhere in this legislature.
I unfortunately think that this kind of rhetoric is going to be more and more prevalent going into the next year. But we've got to call.
Oh yeah, because they haven't been. We haven't been hearing them say the N-word at all for like the last 4 years, I guess.
Out hate
That's
wherever we see it.
Do you think you could have gotten your message across without using that word?
No.
Detroit Branch NAACP President Reverend Dr. Wendell Anthony applauds the way the committee handled the incident.
They were talking about policy, banning guns that kill people. They were
See, this is Negroes' problem here. This is where I'm looking at it at. Now, Negroes is the one that's always for these laws to, I guess, think that's going to protect us. I think, right? When really you should be pushing for having your own candy bars, you know? See, they talking about legislative where they can, and of course he knows he can get attention by saying the N-word, you know what I'm saying, because we so reactionary, but we so damn loyal that it makes no sense because, oh, Lord have mercy, if another school shooting happened, I mean, for real? It's crazy. All right, my brother. Yeah.
Talking about policy, banning guns that kill people. They're talking about implementing strategies that will build up life. This guy was talking about something that diminishes life.
As for how to prevent this from happening again at the state capitol, there is likely no solution. In this case, when lawmakers heard what he said,
Right, so when we be talking about all of these laws, right, because you remember that whole guns thing in Tennessee, right, when all them little white kids got shot up and all of y'all Negroes was out there protesting that too. It doesn't, wow, I'm curious of the things that we protest and the things, it just doesn't make sense. Now, check this out, man. All right.
A child with autism makes a comment saying the school would, blow up. He gets arrested.
I don't know where that wasn't the right one. But anyway, I'll play this one.
Arrested, goes to jail, handcuffs. Put up the institution. Talk about school to prison pipeline. A Black child with autism was arrested after saying his school will, quote, blow up over worries the stuffed bunny in his backpack would be confiscated. Okay. So a new law in Tennessee mandating that police charge both children and adults who make threats of mass violence with felonies.
Now, y'all remember when y'all was saying, and the purpose of this is these little psycho Neanderthal, as we just saw earlier, who be taking them guns to school, shooting up other white kids, which is none of our business in the first place. But no, Negroes had to go out there protesting, sitting there talking about we need a gun ban and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? And we need all of these laws. And we see who they actually apply the law to, a Black child with autism. See, like when y'all don't understand, when y'all be asking for these laws, like they'll pass them and they'll put people of color stamp on it. But then when it's time to charge somebody with a civil rights thing or sue under the 14th, 15th Amendment, it's against you. It ain't for you.
Whether the threats are credible or not, has resulted, in the escalating arrest of young students, some of whom have mental and intellectual disabilities. Now, this law, I hope, is challenged.
Dude, you was sitting there protesting for it. He was talking about, if you go back whenever that Tennessee stuff, he probably was pushing for the law, and now he's talking about, I hope it gets challenged. See, like, we don't understand. We like politically stupid as hell. You know what I'm saying? We fight for everybody else. All right, unfortunately, this is part of the personality of America. Like, we fight for every damn body else. Right? You sit there worrying about other people and trying to get laws passed for them. And then when it hurts you, you're like, oh, now we need to examine it. So when you sit there and ask for another hate crime thing, right? They ain't gonna be like, yo, I seen a Black person hanging with nigger carved in the chest, but he must have did it to himself. But if you say white boy, guess what? It's you. That's why when they be taking people off of these platforms, they might go for like one white dude, but then the rest is gonna be like Black people. You know what I'm saying? When we be asking, like, you cannot ask them for a law or any of that stuff. You got to make that make whatever it is on your own. And the only way that you can apply that is by any other way that the law is enforced. You know what I'm saying? When somebody be like, yo, this is my land, and then they be like, yo, well, what you gonna do about it? And then when you do nothing, then it's their land. And so, I don't know.
For its constitutionality, you have to engage in mens rea, the formation of criminal thought, before typically you could be charged with a criminal thing. A child who has autism should not be getting charged with a felony due to some state political mandate
that he pushed for.
But not only did he get charged.
When I sat up there and say, why you were, I remember Cassidra came on. I remember Cassidra came on like, yeah, why are we saying that? Like about these little white kids talking about that school shooting. Yeah, I remember when Negroes was protesting for that too. That's the personality of Negroes in America, I guess.
The law requires that the parents get charged. It's extreme, right? Regardless if it actually is credible or not. All of the discretion, according to the legislature, has been taken away from the judge, the prosecutor, the entire process. So among them is Ty, a 13-year-old child, a Black child with autism, who was arrested on the second day of school. He sneaked in his favorite plush toy, Bunny. He got it in. It was in his backpack before heading off to his Hamilton County Middle School, where he told his teacher he didn't want anyone to look inside of it. When the teacher posed a question, Ty, real name withheld, responded, quote, because the whole school will blow up. He and his mother told ProPublica and Nashville Public Radio, which have co-published an ongoing series.
Now we know when he say blow up, he talking about, yo, they gonna be, you know how we talk, you know, just like, yo, this thing is gonna blow up when everybody hear about it, right? We know what he meant by that.
Series about Tennessee's crackdown on student threats. Ty's teacher immediately called the school administrator, who then notified the police. In a counselor's office, the backpack was opened to reveal a harmless toy bunny inside. As Ty stood there confused about what he had done wrong, the police handcuffed him, patted him down, then put him.
So it wasn't, we fought for this law so we can protect little Neanderthal children or kids so they can molest our kids, I guess. But we fought for this law. Now we figure out that they're using it to arrest little Black children with autism for having a stuffed bunny. Right? But we have to do this because we have to be by the law. Right?
In the back of a police car. Okay. You know, it's interesting. Children, especially those with the gift of autism, they see things in a very literal way.
Gift of autism.
For example, if they watch a lot of cartoons and they see of the individual, isn't it ironic that in Tennessee, a 13-year-old child cannot have a 13-year-old mindset via this subjective mindset of a child with autism? However, a police officer is able to subjectively kill anybody they choose without having an objective referee.
Because they use everything against you. They are your enemy. Your enemy will never, somebody who is in a dominant position to where they hold most of the power, the resources, the money, the guns, are not going to give it away and are not going to help you lift yourself up. Yeah, we sit here and we fight for everybody but our damn selves, but ourselves, right? And so even as the story of America continues, then we see like stuff like this, right? Like your boy in Chicago. Now, I'm not going to play no clones talking about it. You know what I'm saying? Because there's this is something that a lot of clones that I see, because it ain't no better. This is what I'm trying to tell you. A clone is a clone to me. Now, I sat here and told you that I'm not as hard on the clones as other people because I see how indoctrinated we really are. Because like the brother Dr. Amos Wilson say, they control our environment. So from the moment we take our first breath until right now, we have little to do with the environment that we're in. Very little. And I don't differentiate. A clone is a clone. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway.
Brandon Johnson making it clear today whether it's protecting undocumented families in Chicago or his budget priorities.
Let me see. Okay.
Will not compromise on his values, but on the budget, he seems willing to ease some of the pain on his proposed property tax hike. Mayor Brandon Johnson's proposed $300 million property tax hike has received significant criticism from alderpersons from the moment he introduced it right up until today, as public safety and other departments were getting their budgets scrutinized.
What we know is this: we are working to ensure that we go line by line to squeeze this budget as much as we can before we ask
to squeeze this budget in Chicago, really?
$1 more from taxpayers.
In light of all the pushback from the council, the mayor suggesting his tax hike plan may not have been as serious as originally thought.
Well, I don't necessarily consider it as pushback. I'll say it like this. So as a public school teacher, sometimes we do things to get people's attention. And so now that we have the attention of everyone, I've said from the very beginning, this is a proposal. I'm a collaborative mayor.
But Mayor Johnson said layoffs and furloughs are still out of the question.
Now, this mayor here, right, and this is what they're supposed to be talking about anyway, how he was saying he will support migrants even if it costs federal funds, right? And as a Negro himself, you find this way too often, right? Because in order to do that, because one side is not better than the other here, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not going to act like there is a lesser of two evils here, right? I know that you may want to convince yourself, but in order to pay all of this money, right?
Mayor Johnson
he's giving up $400 million. So now he wants to raise taxes on the people in his area, which I'm guessing is a majority Black area, right? His constituents. Well, I guess they're trying to make it majority Hispanic now. Anyway, oh damn, I don't have the other one. Oh yeah, because yeah.
Mayor Johnson has come back with a new plan to balance the city budget after his other proposal for a $300 million property tax hike got rejected.
Political reporter Paris Schutz says this one may not fare much better.
The mayor had no choice but to scrap that original plan, and he announced today that he's whittled the property tax increase down to $150 million. But is it enough to win over skeptical alder people?
The mayor says the latest proposal is the product of weekend negotiations with alder people after his original plan fell flat.
I believe that the mistake would be if we didn't have a collaborative approach that allowed for multiple voices to weigh in. I mean, so you don't just have city council members weighing in, you have folks in labor, folks in business, now you have individuals at other levels of government. That is how open this process has been.
Instead of $300 million in new property taxes, the mayor wants a $128 million hike in the personal property replacement tax on cloud computing. essentially a business tax. Also, a $10 million tax hike on streaming services like Netflix, which leaves a property tax hike of $150 million. But the new plan does not seem to be winning over many city council members.
So I don't know what planet you live on where you have a budget like this and you can't make cuts, you can't find efficiencies that we do every year, and you can't run government by just increasing revenue, increasing property taxes on people and wishing the rest away.
32nd Ward Alderman Scott Waguespack says the mayor hasn't been inclusive of everyone's ideas. Johnson today dismissed complaints like that.
Some individuals are having tantrums right now. It's time to grow up.
Color recent critic, the 40th Ward's Andre Vasquez, unimpressed.
If you're the collaborator in chief, you don't tell people they're having tantrums when they're raising up questions. You don't say they need to grow up. Nothing about that feels collaborative, does it?
The mayor acknowledged the plan is likely still a work in progress, as some colleagues hope to eliminate the need for a property tax hike altogether.
As long as we have an open line of communication, I think we have a responsibility to get to an agreement.
Meanwhile, City Council heard testimony today from Chicago Fire Department leaders on their proposed budget as hearings.
Man, see, now and it remind me of like, somebody said something about that Wakanda movie, right? And it's just like that movie because right here you have the dude, you have a nation of black people who have whatever technology, but will not help the people around the world, right? And instead will build a community center and give they stuff to the government, But imagine if black people had the, I don't know, knowledge, smarts to follow themselves, or to do these things for themselves, for ourselves. Where would we be? It's crazy, right? I guess I'll play this. And I don't know if y'all would agree with what she's saying or not.
Somebody said, oh, I don't know why black people laughing at Latinos and Hispanics, because if he gets away with this whole deportation situation, and he will, black people in the community is affected too. Everybody, all of y'all, are laughing until your Jamaican grandma is going away. Everybody laughing when the black community is filled of black immigrants as well, stuff like that. Okay. First, let me just say this. Black people aren't laughing at Latinos because we want something bad to happen to them now. We're not laughing at Hispanics because we are pleased with negative things happening to them or their fear. One, black people laugh to keep the pain away.
It's pretty funny.
And black people are funny as shit. I'm not going to hold you because some of these jokes is fucking hilarious. That's just when y'all already know we funny as shit. Two, black people are laughing because we knew. Like, I want y'all to understand something. And I understand that y'all may not like it. And you may not even receive it because it's a black woman telling you this. And we know how y'all feel about black women. Y'all don't never listen to this. But he has a hyper focus on certain people for a reason. And that reason really is because, in my belief, YT people never cared about anybody else but black people. YT people in America see things as black and white. This country has always been black and white to them. And all the rest of y'all in between, that's how they felt about y'all. I know y'all fought so hard to not be in the shadows of black people. Don't treat me like them. I'm not one of them. I'm not black. I'm Hispanic. I'm Latino. Don't do that like that. I'm not a minority. I want to be the model minority. Whatever it was. That's fine. That's cool because everybody deserves their own identity. And I respect that. We understand that. Nonetheless, YT people never cared. In my prediction, YT people want to get this country back to its original form. Whole Make America Great Again, right? And the original form was it was black people, Native Americans, and white people. That was it. None of y'all over here. None of y'all were on the plantation with us. YT people see minorities as support for black people. Black people now know better. You all were able to come over here into this country and live a life of semi-luxury in comparison to us. You all were able to get benefits and privileges off of the backs because of us. YT people gave you adjacency. They gave you the model minority. They gave you a little bit more acceptance. They gave you better treatment, not because they liked you, not because they respected you, not because they seen you as equal, but it was to spite black people. You came in here on a higher having a higher stance in the poll or hierarchy poll because of Black people. One, Black people fought for the right for you to even get over here and benefit from things. That's one, and one of the main important situations.
Still fighting for them to come in and be over you.
And like I said, because two, white people wanted to spite Black people. This is a fight between white America and Black America. It ain't got nothing to do with y'all. So when Black people are laughing, in the sense, we're laughing because there's no gotcha moment over here with us. See, a group of people that knew that they would be in danger if these people won, there's no gotcha moment. We knew this. The laughter comes from you.
And you know, the problem is that you don't know that you are still in danger if who you wanted to win won. That is the major problem that you're having, right? And that's a lot of a problem that I have. Because you wanted to sit up there and be like, my president is Black, so you could be comfortable for another 4 years, right? Making excuses and all type of stuff. Like, it ain't the same thing happening no matter who it is. And be like, oh, it ain't no damn difference. The hell it ain't. Where have you been? Open your eyes, look around you. What are you talking about? You tell me which year it stopped in then. Because I that's the stuff that, and this crazy part is because when I first started, the stuff that because I know Black people will say, oh, other Black people say this, but most of y'all say the same thing that white boys was saying to me before, and making the same kind of things that white people say. We like, now I'm seeing the people who's supposed to be about Black people saying the same thing. And I'm pretty sure y'all be like, yo, they've always been doing it. But no.
That did. The laughter, unfortunately, behind some of us comes because you all are experiencing a gotcha moment. Mm-hmm. The gotcha moment for you all is you all believing that if you chose them, that you would be in favor. You all believing that you were going to.
It's the irony, though, because she's right about them. But why do Black people think that choosing them, you was going to be in favor? Because that's not the case. That's not how it works. Like, we thought we would be in favor if this side won. Is that what we're saying? I think we finally in favor because now you, again, for the, 619th million time, learned that you ain't got no friends. We ran out of places in our backs to get stabbed, so they just stab us in our sides and our fronts now. Because we then handed them the knife and turned around 1,000 times and still don't get it.
Favor. You all believing that you were going to escape or rise above or soar above the trauma that everybody like us, Black people, were going to receive.
Yeah, it said not connected, my brother. Yo, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, boy? What's up, baby?
Not much. How you doing, bro?
I'm chill. Hey, look here. I didn't want to interrupt you, man. Go ahead and do what you do, and I'll answer after you get through.
All right.
The gotcha moment was that you thought, or that you let them convince you constantly that if you aligned yourself with them, that you would be safe. And the fact is that they convinced you that having privilege over rights was better. That's what you voted for. You voted for privilege over rights. And now they're here taking your...
Well, we voted for comfort over equality or freedom or whatever. We voted for comfort over freedom.
Fucking rights away. So you don't receive any privilege. You see how that fucking goes? Black people have been telling you to follow us for the longest. We've been carrying everything on our shoulders and leading you for the longest. All you had to do was side with us. And you continue to live the level of comfort that you've been living out here in America.
Is that something to brag on? All you have to do is follow us and we'll continue to lift you up over us and you'll continue to live in comfort. But they couldn't even do that. But does that sound like something you should even be bragging on, though? Like,
off the backs of us. Out of the spite for us. That they can't stand us. White people have always hyper-focused on Black people. He ain't got no beef with Jamaica. He ain't got no beef with Trinidad and Tobago. He ain't got no beef with Grenada, Bahamas, Barbados, Turks and Caicos.
Or probably do.
They want to benefit off of our labor. They want to benefit off of our culture. Black people here because they want to benefit off of our labor. They want to benefit off of our culture. They want to benefit off of us and just completely harass and harm us.
And we okay with that? We can let them? Like, see, this is the problem, right? See, now we terrified about what's going on because you feel like you can't even defend yourself, right? Oh, now we going back into slavery. Well, why? Like, dude, like, are you willing to fight it? You know, are you willing to do something to stand up? Like, no, we just willingly accept the position that we get. Oh, now he's backing off. We going back to slave. You ain't even like, yo, now we got to fight so we don't be. He's like, oh, we're going right back into slavery. They just want to harm and right. Well, duh. So now what do we have to do to adjust for that? You know what I'm saying? But anyway,
They don't care. So they need you out of the way. Remember when Trump said that immigrants was taking black jobs? You think that he wants to remove us? No, he wants to remove you all who are receiving a level of privilege above black people. Black people still not only had to fight our way to get into places because of YT people, we had to fight to get in our places because y'all were getting some level of favor over us, even though you were here and reaping the benefits off of us. So now, not only do they not have to go in competition with the model minority Asian, not only do they have to not go in competition with the Latino.
what did Amos Wilson say to me? See, he was talking back then when it was the Asian, because we don't understand it's the same thing. Europeans are not creative. They're dumb as hell. They just do the same thing over and over. I don't think we're that dumb. I just think that we love what is like a glutton for pain, well, a masochist, right? Because they aren't that creative. They do the same thing over and over. They did it with the Asians. Now they do it with the Hispanics, right? But we would be like, oh, well, that level of murder is cool. You know what I'm saying? But
not only do they not have to go into competition with the Middle Eastern, they only have to go into competition with us black people. And if they are majority in the power, you already know what they're going to do. They're going to overpower us. And now those jobs that were black jobs can go right back to us. We can go back to having the low paying jobs. They can kick us out of the executive positions. And
so why would you do it? Like, they can overpower us. Like, have you tried to fight it? Have you tried to see if they can or they can't? Or are we just going to accept it? Because, like, this is the part about learning history that's important, because they never once overpowered you. Go ahead, my brother.
Hey, yeah. Could I interrupt for a few minutes, Walker? Is it cool?
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, I just want to say this right here. I'm listening at the sister talk. Okay, I'm listening at her talk, Walker. But what I'm saying, what she's missing is this, right? To me, what she's missing is, okay, hey, we just hit up. You were just talking about forecast. If they have the power to do this, then what does that say? You know what I'm saying, forecast?
Right.
If the dominant society let's keep it real. If white folks who run this motherfucking country, because this they country, this they shit, you know what I'm saying? If they run this motherfucker and they got and they have the power to remove your motherfucking ass from certain things, I mean, what is? Do you see where I'm coming from, forecast?
Right. Yeah.
Why we? You know what I'm saying? Why would we? Okay. This is where I look at it. Okay. Now they got how you have black immigrants from Haiti, from the Caribbean, and from Africa. They will pit us against them. Okay. But really, the motherfuckers who we need to be fucked off is the motherfuckers who pitting you against them, not them. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now they gonna now say you got the Hispanics. No, the Hispanics, Hispanic, we know Hispanic is a broad term, but really what you mean is the white Hispanics. The white Hispanics or the mestizo Hispanics, the one who are mixed Spaniards and Indians, but who also consider themselves white. Okay? Because it's just like if you go back to Haiti, to the Haitian Revolution, to Haiti before the revolution, what the French did was they created a buffer class. They created a buffer class of mulatto people. You know what I'm saying? People who were mixed French, mixed African, who were light-skinned people, who spoke French, who was educated, you know what I'm saying? And they had more in common with their French masters, slave masters, than they did with the Africans, with the uneducated Africans, black Africans. You know what I'm saying? So here in America, the buffer class is the Middle Easterners. Hey, like you say, forecast, the East Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? The Mexicans, the East Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? The Latinos, the light-skinned Latinos, or the Latinos who identify as white. Because last year, 85% of Latinos identified as white. You know what I'm saying? Even though some people say, well, when they get to talking to you, they say, hey man, we the Spaniards enslaved us too. No, we Indians, we the Spanish speaking Indians. No, well, y'all 85% of y'all identified as white. So I look at you as white. You know what I'm saying? But I'm saying is the thing is they will lay there and pit us against some more black people, against some Haitian immigrants, against some Caribbean immigrants, against some African immigrants. And yeah, we got to keep it real. Yeah, when some of our brothers and sisters from the continent or from the Caribbean go there, remember they come into a place where they from, everybody was black. So they don't have the same racial outlook that we do. I mean, they know about racism from being colonized, but with us, we had to deal with this cracker for 400 years. You know what I'm saying? 400 plus years, face to face. And a lot of stuff that happened to us, some of the same shit happened, but it didn't happen to them like it did to us because we had to deal with these motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Just like brothers in South Africa, they had to deal with these motherfuckers. On a personal, up close, in your face basis, all the time, every day. But what I'm saying, they would lay there and pit us against each other when we don't need to be against each other. Because I know plenty of Caribbean brothers from the Caribbean and from Africa who hey, they get wise to this shit. They saying, no, man, this ain't about shit no more. But we'll still go to the ones who say some crazy shit and like they the majority of them. But I'm saying, forecast, the motherfuckers we need to be going at, we don't need to be going at the little motherfucker. We need to be going at the big motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to what you were saying. The point is, we some coward motherfuckers, man. I mean, for the most part, not me, not you, not brothers like us and sisters like us who out here on the line trying to fight this shit. But for the most part, we like, man, I'm not gonna rock no motherfucking boat. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna enjoy my little old privilege. I'm gonna enjoy this here, that, whatever these crackers give me. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to rock the boat. We some coward. We some scary motherfuckers. Forecast.
Yeah, the problem is. Yeah, go ahead.
I'm saying forecast. We'll pick on the small motherfucker that can't do nothing to us instead of the bully. You know what I'm saying? Look, me and you, we gonna fight the bully. But I'm saying for the most part, we gonna fight the motherfucker that can't do nothing to us or that scared us or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Right. Instead of fighting the bully that's kicking your motherfucking ass. I'll knock off right there, forecast.
No, I agree with you saying. And the only thing I say is unfortunately, we are collective. So we I will put myself in it when I say we is some cowards right now because I mean it's it is what it is. But I agree with everything you're saying, and even like what you're saying, like when you're bringing up the mulatto thing, right? And so because I got to do it, how I do. I want to because we see young dudes like this, right? And this whole thing about
applicable to their situation.
And because this is what I want you to understand, right? Because we don't have no friends, right? And there's a reason why you see fools like this who generally have it. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of mixed race people do end up, that, like I said, there's a whole nother conversation.
I'll go into that. Hopefully I'll make this shorter than a whole hour long. Definitely.
Anyway, I mean,
entertainment culture, it made its way to RG3. RG3 responded to my boy Wayne's tweet by saying all 4 of my daughters. So once again, my boy Wayne, he tweeted, "What black women do you support?" RG3 quoted this tweet and said, "All 4 of my daughters."
He said, "So what black woman do you support?" And he said, "All of my daughters who are biracial children, half human, half Neanderthal, right?" Now, this is another part of like where we don't even understand a part of politics, you know, because when we be like, yo, who is this black thing? Because even when we look at the other side, right, well, we know it ain't no black people, but when you put phony black people in there, number one, already coons and sellouts is dangerous, right? We understand that. But when it comes to resources and all type of stuff, right, then you start seeing people who aren't fully black, because you have to have two black parents to be a black person. And I don't disvalue I don't discredit how much a black woman means and how much a black man means. You cannot substitute one of them and still have a black child, right? But when we start being like, oh, which black person do you support? And then you look it up. Like when you look up most of the first in history, the first black something, most times they ain't even black, right? And that's just what it is, you know.
Now, for those who don't know, RG3 is married to a white woman. She's Estonian, right? That's what he said. He's an Estonian immigrant wife. And so when he said this,
and those immigrants are still coming in, by the way.
Say all four of his daughters are the black women he supports. He got pushback from people. Some folks from the black community like, hey, your daughter's not black. They biracial. They not black. Them biracial kids, they not really black or whatever, right? I'm not laughing because it's not funny, but I know why this was said to RG3 for real. First of all, his daughters are black. And I'm saying that because we can't pick and choose who we allow to say they're black and who we don't allow to say they're black. In hip hop culture, sports culture, and entertainment culture, all of the above, there have been people with one white parent, one black parent. We never have said that Tia and Tamara were not black, even though their father is a white man and their mother is black, right? Now, people been calling Tamara Tamaga because her husband be on some anti-black-ish.
So nobody ever gave her no problems, right? And this is the thing that I've been even noticing, right? Because I know biracial people, and I guess I ain't gonna say all of them, but because I know that y'all gonna defend non-blackness to the death of you, so you can bring your white girl in. And I left a comment on some dude stuff, some Israelite dude sitting there talking about they black because he want to have white girls. You know what I'm saying? No, that's some BS. You know what I'm saying? See, they leave that whole part out about how her husband is some MAGA dude, right? And even the biracial people, mulatto people that I know, it's like irritating because it's like, oh, why is it always about race? But then when it's some negative stuff, oh, black people are always doing this. That's why I hate black businesses. Black people is this. Black women always got attitude. But then when it comes to certain stuff, right, it's like, oh, well, we can't think about race no more. You know what I'm saying? That white side start to come out. You know, and this is why I'm not gonna like let it out. And it's not even a bad thing to say that a mixed race person is mixed, you know what I'm saying? And if you even look at it, ask them if one of their parents said some anti-black stuff. But we want to allow everybody in because we're politically stupid as hell. You know what I'm saying? We defend everybody, let everybody in the cookouts, let everybody in the groups, want to spread our seed everywhere in the world. And none of it benefits us. Meanwhile, other groups literally use their seed as warfare, right? You think Chinese is putting their seed there because they want to? No, it's so they can lay claim to the land. And then those mulatto people always take the side of usually the powerful parent, and except for the extreme ones who go to the other side, you know what I'm saying, where you can't tell me nothing, Jack, I'm black, you know what I'm saying, or they be still using 70s slang. But anyway, yo, you want to say something about that, bro?
Yeah, Forecast, I agree with you 100%. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I agree with you 100%. Like I said, I put in the chat. No, they're not black, man. You know, if you biracial, you're not black. You mixed race. As a matter of fact, I call you a white Negro. You know what I'm saying? A white Negro. You know, I mean, I say it in jest, you know, in fun. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I was talking to my brother, Zahir Teray today. We was talking and we was mentioning it came up Dr. Jerry Ball that came up. You know, and he had called him because I was saying that, you know, Jerry Ball, he did a podcast he had a podcast today, and he was talking about some shit, and he had the Garvey flag behind him, and I asked Zahir, I said, because Zahir is in the movement with him. They had a group called Community Movement Builders. I said out of Atlanta. I said, man, I said, Zahir, why Jared had it? I said, why Jared? I said, first thing, Jared is mama Jew. No, I call him a Jew. I said, his mama Jew and his daddy black. I said, but why he always had that Garvey flag in the background when he ain't no Garvey ain't? You know what I'm saying? He a Marxist, he a black Marxist, a so-called black. You know what I'm saying? So, and we were just laughing. But I said, see, these type of motherfuckers like this here, like him, you got to take a motherfucker like him, man. They main thing is, like you said, to infiltrate, come to the cookout, and dilute what blackness means. You know what I'm saying? And they had it's just like this here. Check this out real quick. In Great Britain, let me say Great Britain. In Britain, the United Kingdom, back in the 60s.
Terrible Britain.
Yeah, terrible Britain. In the 60s, they had several black organizations, several black power organizations. They had one that was called, they had the Black Panther Party there. Okay. And they had the Black Liberation Front. Okay. But what happened was this, right? What happened was this. In the Black Panther Party in Britain, they also had people who were Asian, like from South Asia, like Indian. No, those East Mexicans. They had some of them in the party. And see, what they came up with was since it was a Black Panther, what they came up with was a new slogan, a new title, and it was called Political Black. You know what I'm saying? So it basically meant if you're not white, you black. You hear what I'm saying, Volcan? It was political black. It was people who was East Asian, people who was of Chinese origin, whatever. You was non-white, so you was political black. You know what I'm saying? And really, what that was, it was a way of diluting blackness.
Yeah.
Now you look, it's diluting blackness. Now they had Black History, like in the UK, Black History Month is like in October. Okay, what they came up with was some other shit called BAM. You know what I'm saying? It was a holiday called BAM that they came up with. It was like to take the emphasis off Black History Month and make it like People of Color Month.
Oh, damn.
You know what I'm saying? It's a slow dilution of Black history. So I mean, like you saying, when you get these people, these non-black people, these people of color that hold, hey, Dr. Amos Wilson, hey, you remember Dr. Amos Wilson talked about that people of color. Dr. Wilson said, when we talk, the only people of color we need to be talking about is black people. He said, right. But in 20 years, I'm gonna show you what people of color mean. The Mexicans ain't your friend. The Chinese ain't your friend. You're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? And he was dead right. And he said that in 1994 before he died. He said, you're gonna find out. You know what I'm saying? Now they got a Chinese anti-racist bill, if you discriminate against Chinese, against Asian people. But they still ain't got no bill for, discriminate against black people. They even took the lynch law off the book for black people. You know what I'm saying? In which we don't care, that's their law. We talking about what we gonna do. But I'm saying at the same time, while we still believing in this system, while believing in this honky system and shit, I'm saying these Democrats with all this bullshit. You know what I'm saying? They done laid everything that Dr. Wilson was saying came true. Now you know what? They giving luck to those people of color. They done put them people of color before your black ass.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? They put people of color before your black ass. But like you're saying, though, man, I ain't mean to get up too far on track, and I'm gonna knock off and let you go finish the conversation. But yeah, man, I agree with you 100%, man.
No, that's what I was saying. That's the whole point. That's one of the points I was saying. Is the fact that it is to but our political awareness is not to the point where we even understand it, and the fact that we want peace, because I don't blame them from doing that. And what do I tell you? Because that's what I want to show you now. what is, because y'all have to get y'all dose because it's been a minute, you know, what do I tell you is the most dangerous species in the universe? Why? Because you Negroes love them, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could be a militant, they could just send one over there and it's a wrap, you know, and then all of a sudden now they can have black children and all type of stuff, you know what I'm saying? But they are your enemy, you know.
To join. With
I definitely didn't want to play him because he'd be doing the same thing. He got a Mexican wife, you know. Oh yeah, all right, so
and together. Women video yesterday addressing specifically Black women. So as a woman, we have blazed these trails together. We did this together. We need to stand together. Women, to include Black women, got the right to vote after men. They're still leading the race. It's still not equal. Equality, equal pay. We still get less on the dollar.
now I don't know if she knew or not, but Black women didn't get the right to vote when white bitches got the right to vote, by the way. And really neither did Black men. Let's be real, they didn't. Even though, like, you could be like, oh, well, technically, yeah, all they did, but no, they didn't.
So why are you alienating a high percentage of allies? Like, why are you doing this? Separation will lead nowhere. And in the real world, aside from TikTok, we have to bargain together. We have to do this together. Why are you alienating? And what constitutes white? This is 2024.
What is white?
And most of us are blended. My family's blended. You know, I have cousins that are married to beautiful Black women or even Black men. So there's.
You see how they use that mulatto thing as like a political warfare, and then how they just be so deceptive with all of this stuff. But this is why you well, all of these gonna start over, but this is why you separate from them.
Here telling me I'm in the park and this lady come in here telling me I'm not supposed to be here, this apart, and look, she told me to shut up. A 67-year-old senior citizen. She telling me to shut up. Keep coming to me. You're scaring her. Look at the dog coming to me.
And the dog playing with him, though. He's scaring her.
See, now she's saying I'm crazy. She don't know I'm a pastor. She don't know I'm a pastor at church. She don't know that. But because I'm Black and because I'm in the park with my dog.
So it didn't matter if you was a pastor. It didn't matter if you was an imam. It didn't matter if you was an atheist. It didn't matter if you had a cat with you. It didn't matter. Like green eggs and ham. Like, it doesn't matter in a tree or it doesn't matter on the ground. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing over and over. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what we don't understand. Like, Black only is the only answer. It ain't no Democrat. It ain't no. She didn't ask him how did he vote for Kamala Harris or Donald Trump. He could have been a Trump like a lot of Black pastors. She didn't ask him. Only Negroes sit here and argue about dumb. She didn't say, "Hey, look, you look Caribbean, you look Jamaican, you look Bahamian, you look like you from Texas, you look like you from New York." She didn't give a damn about none of that.
Oh, she's telling me to shut up. I was sitting here on this bench. She came in this door, and the first thing she say, "Do you live here?" I pay $8,000 in taxes.
Why, bro?
In this Mansfield area. $8,000 is my tax.
Why, bro?
And that is what
you pay $8,000 to come over here and get mad. Did you smack her? All right.
Happened. I'm gonna let everybody know.
All right. Oh yeah, I'll give you one more. Just to give it. They don't want to have their white bitch dose, but they're gonna get it today.
But thank you for having a conversation with us because it is not us. Thank you.
I don't believe you, but
why don't you believe? Are you at our door?
Because I heard you on your phone talking about it, and I wanted to.
You heard me on my phone saying that you're the one that's calling the police on us, saying that we're smoking marijuana.
I was told to call the police. I was told by the front office police.
But you called the police on us, and we're not doing it. So you don't have to believe us. But why did you come to our door with it? You don't
This is what we fought for to get into their neighborhoods.
have to believe us. You told us after we already knew, Karen.
Is we our own worst enemy or is they our damn enemy? Anyway, yo, you want to say something about that real quick, bro, before I go to the last one?
Yeah, forecast. Hey, man, you know what? Forecast. Whenever we get, when we get ourselves together, we're gonna have to fight. We're gonna have to fight a civil war first, man. You know what I'm saying? Hey, because we're gonna have to get rid of them goons, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what I'm saying, those type. Let me reframe that. We're gonna have to re-educate them motherfuckers. When I say get rid, we got to re-educate them. We got to get that kind of mindset out the way, man. No, these old, I'm a pastor, and you know, and all this old, she talking to me like this, man. When, like Dr. John Henry Clark used to say, when we gonna stand up with our full backbone? You know what I'm saying, Volcan? We gonna stand up with our full backbone and say, "Fuck you, honky, get your fuck out of my face." You know what I'm saying? For I slide your ass. You know what I'm saying? And when we gonna get to the point where we gonna slide your ass for real? You know what I'm saying? Get the fuck out of my neighborhood. Get the fuck away from me. Get the fuck with me with that bullshit. No, getting on no motherfucking camera talking about, oh, you called them, you did this, and all that shit, arguing with them. Man, look here, man, you know good, you know like I know. You from the street, from the hood like I am. We don't do no goddamn arguing, man, on concrete ground. You know what I'm saying? You know how the OGs did it. We don't do no motherfucking arguing, man. No, when they come to you with that bullshit, nigga, they need to get a broke nose. You know what I'm saying? And slide that motherfucker on out the way and let them know not to come over there with that bullshit no more. But see, we with all this whole talking. Man, look at enough of the talking, man. They don't talk. You know what I'm saying? When the police come, they don't talk. They put that bullet in your face. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they come with their shit. But we studied, man, when is we gonna stand up and realize, man, you ain't dealing with no motherfucking full-blooded human being. You dealing with a motherfucking Neanderthal who don't give a damn about your humanity. You know what I'm saying? While you sit up here trying to argue and reason with this motherfucker, they don't give a damn about that shit. And I'm just saying, man, we got to get to the point, you know, we got to get them kind of Negroes away. And I know, hey, it's the public school, the public food system, you know, and everything that they see, you know, all this old we all together and all this old bullshit. But yeah, I'm gonna knock off, man. Let's go and finish the prompt, man.
No, yeah, I agree, you know. And you know, and as you see, like that's why you keep getting asked, like, because we be so. I pay $8,000 to live around here around white folk, and you gonna make me feel unwelcome? Like, yeah, bro. You could have paid $4,000 to live by your people in a nice house, and put that other $4,000 in the community if you wanted to do something. But no, we just want to be comfortable, and that's what a lot of Black people showed me. But guess what happened, y'all? I'm glad this happened too, though. So of course, this is Idaho, so any Negro in Idaho ain't got no business over there anyway. But
well, Idaho joins a growing list of states reigning in diversity, equity, and inclusion, also known as DEI, on colleges and universities.
DIE.
A plan that would force colleges to shut down offices designed to help or support specific groups of students was presented before the Idaho State Board today. Jordan Smith is in studio tonight. So, Jordan, what can you tell us about this?
Yeah, the language of that resolution would force college campuses.
Now, let me say this, because I understand it. We get it. They discriminate. They don't let Black people into their stuff. They don't give us the resources for their stuff. Okay, fine. What I am saying is they're dumb as hell and their stuff is stupid anyway. right? Their national anthem is stupid as hell. Their history is wrong as hell. Their religions is dumb as hell. They mindsets is dumb as hell. Their children is dumb, or their kids is dumb as hell. Like, they're all stupid. Their elderly are dumb as hell, right? All of them are just dumb as hell. Like, good. Why would I want to be around that to have any influence over any part of my damn environment? That's why they study your ass all the time.
Like the University of Idaho, Boise State, Idaho State, and LCSC to shut down any offices centered around DEI. Idaho's resolution today essentially mirrored the one that Utah passed back in January. And here's a look at some of the language of one of the proposed resolutions. It reads, Idaho colleges, quote, shall ensure that no central office, policy, procedure, or initiative is dedicated to diversity, equity, and inclusion.
They said no policy, procedure, or initiative is dedicated to diversity, equality, or inclusion. So, all you Negroes better move out of Idaho.
DEI was created to ensure historically marginalized groups of people, like women and people of color, have equal opportunity.
Wait, like women and people of color. So, do you know who women is? White bitches, because you're supposed to be in the people of color group, even though you at the bottom of the people of color group, and we will brag about that. Well, they gave us the record number. Well, yeah, they gave everybody the record number, and way more than us. You got 1% of that. And we would brag about that, you know. And it's just the mentality is just, I don't understand. You know what I'm saying? It's for women, for white bitches, right, who benefit the most out of everything, and people of color. They ain't say nothing about black people did the civil rights stuff.
Hey, 4K.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm going back to the prompt before then. When they had the white bitch talking, I just wanted to mention this. Why didn't the white bitch say, black woman, we gonna fight for you not to just make 60% of what we make? Like the black women in Hollywood. Remember they had that protest, how they wasn't getting paid like the white women?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they was on and they was on Taraji P. Henson neck for saying that too. But it go all the way back because Ida B. Wells had to smack one of them white bitches for talking crazy to her. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I would have said to her. They white bitches, Miss Wells. Like, what in the hell?
4K. Hey, 4K. Ida B. Wells was a bad woman though. She was way better than these sisters today.
Yeah, true. But even then though, I would have been like, those white bitches, Susan B. Anthony and them, fuck them white bitches. You know what I'm saying? Y'all don't even need them, you know? But anyway.
Of people, like women and people of color, have equal opportunities. But critics say it's actually tilted the playing field and doesn't provide equal opportunity to everyone. The University of Idaho, for example, this would eliminate 5 programs, including the Office of the LGBTQA, the women.
So even though they put a black face on it, it's for the Office of the LBGT, the women, the people of color. You get 1% of that, but yeah, you the face of it. As like if they try to attack it, like it's like white bitches is like stupid as hell. They talk against affirmative action when they benefit from affirmative action. They talk against DEI when they benefit from it, and it ain't black people that benefit from it. You show me any program that a black man benefits from. Like, can you show me that?
Women's Center and Offices of Multicultural Affairs. The argument today was Idaho.
Which ones is the African Center, Culture Center?
The LGBTQA, the Women's Center and Offices of Multicultural Affairs. The argument today was Idaho colleges should ensure that student success.
It sounds like to me that's a good thing then. It sounds like to me that's a great thing then. But no, like this is what we were scared of this whole time. I don't know what to tell you.
Centers to all students.
The representation of those offices is really around ensuring that students aren't separated into groups, but that the support services are available for all students. And so I want to be clear, as we talk through these, this is not about removing support where people need it, but organizing it such that all students have access to all. It's really an inclusionary point of view.
And look, he's talking about inclusion. I'm looking for the Negro in the room here, even though this is Idaho. But he's talking about we need inclusion, and there's all crackers in here. That's the funny part about it.
Now, one board member, Kurt Libick, seemed supportive of the concept, but he did bring up the point. No vote was taken today.
Anyway, I want to show you one last thing, right? I want to play this video, and you can say what you want to say anytime.
Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, that ratchet.
Oh, all right, my bad.
Democrat Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett, that ratchet garden tool from Texas, went off during a congressional hearing because we're getting ready to remove DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or didn't earn it because, of course, that's the only reason she's in Congress. That's the only reason she was accepted to college.
Yo, I don't know who this dude is, but he got 1.9 million subscribers. Check that out, right? He said this ratchet congresswoman gets big mad. And see, like, they can't even make up their own words. Like, they're so stupid as hell. And the only thing that they get is for us to get irritated. You know what I'm saying? But like, you can expose these fools easy. It's a little bit too easy. But they're so stupid that they can't even come up with their own phrases. They have to take yours and try to use it. And they don't make up their own because they're not creative at all. Right? And they're not even like good at what they do. Right? It just makes no sense.
Otherwise, she would be working at Burger King.
It's because you can then misuse words like oppression. There has been no oppression for the white man in this country.
Well, I mean, numerous Fortune 500 companies have been caught and thankfully are finally getting sued for systemic discrimination against white people, including IBM, which thankfully got busted because of James O'Keefe, an OMG investigation. Where,
by the way, that wasn't even true, like what he's saying right here, and it's already been proven not to be true, and so he's still saying it anyway. But you know, like you tell that like liars and whatever. But it's funny, you know, it's anti-white dude hiring. But see, I'm not mad at this because this is what black people's mentality, because anti-black hiring practices by black people is like stupid as hell, right? But go ahead, my brother.
Hey, I was just gonna say, Forecast, what is discrimination against white people is giving one Negro a shot. That's discriminating against white people. You know what I'm saying? If you have a room with 20 people and 18 of them white, and you let one Negro get one position, that's discrimination against white people.
Bro, but you know the sick part is he could be a 125th white, 125th black, and they're still black, and they will be the first black person in that position, and that's discriminated against white people and giving black people a boost up because this person who is 125th black, and Negroes will say, well, they're black. Yeah, that's true. You know, but that's the crazy part about all of this. You know what I'm saying? Like, but anyway. That's all you wanted to say, bro? I know you're going to want to say.
Yeah, go ahead, dog.
they were just blatantly talking about it on a conference call. Dropbox, I think, flew under the legal radar and didn't face any consequences when they were openly bragging about prioritizing BIPOC applicants, black.
By the way, which includes white people. Like, that's the crazy part. They are included in the BIPOC too, so they are getting more of the BIPOC stuff, but saying that is what's discriminating against them. The fact that they give white bitches jobs discriminates against the white male. That's what they're saying, but they put a blackface on it, you know.
Indigenous and people of color. YouTube got sued back in 2018 after a whistleblower revealed that their new hiring practices said that they were no longer even considering white men or Asian men for upper-level positions. The lawsuit filed by Arnie Wolberg, a white male who worked at Google for 9 years and 4 years as a recruiter for YouTube, revealed that the company's...
All right, so that's not even true, so you don't even need to
other 150-year-old grievances you'd like to get off your chest, Miss Crockett?
You tell me which white men were dragged out of their homes. You tell me which one of them got dragged all the way across an ocean and told that you were going to go and work.
You over 1 million white Europeans who were taken as slaves by Barbary pirates back to Africa during the 1600s.
That didn't.
You know, so first of all, My brother, you know more of it than me because I don't study white on white crime like that. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Morgan. Hey, that's what. Hey, hey, when they were mentioning some shit like that about white people who were taking 1 million white people who were taken to slavery to Africa, but what he's not saying is they were taken to North Africa with white people in North Africa. You know what I'm saying? Well, hey, with Algeria, with Berber people in North Africa, with Ottoman Turks. You know what I'm saying? They don't put the emphasis on that they were sold by other white people. You know what I'm saying? Europeans and white Jews, they were sold by their own people. You know what I'm saying? But they quick to turn around and say, well, some of those African chiefs, sold their own people. But but when it comes to them, they don't talk about, well, hell, we was in Europe selling young men and young boys, to the Ottoman Turks, to the Turks, and to the Arabs in North Africa for a long time. You know what I'm saying? And it was a slave trade to go send them to work. It was a sex trade. You know what I'm saying?
It was a sex trafficking. It was pedophiles. They are pedophiles. Excuse me. They are pedophiles. And that's the thing. They definitely gonna leave that part out. You know what I'm saying? Where they sell each other and the whole white on white crime. But even what he said, it ain't even true. I don't even think he was talking about some 1 million. They couldn't even they can't even reproduce today. You know what I'm saying? And they can't be outside. They can't take sun. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is, right, and I will tell you, because we're not going to sleep on this, and I'm gonna say it because it's the truth. If you ask a cracker where they from, they can tell you Ireland, Finland, wherever the hell they be from, right? But you ask a Negro where they come from, and he can't tell you. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm saying, and here in America, we cannot tell you definitively where we come from. I don't care what you say you come from. You can't say definitively where you come from, and if you do, then you one of millions. You know what I'm saying? One out of 1 million. But that's the thing, and that's the problem. They have to control your environment so you don't have no political awareness. You are attached to them. You can't do anything without them. Anyway, let me finish this show.
Happened. That is oppression.
That was oppression. It did happen. Maybe you should open a history book instead of scrolling through TikTok. Thank God and Donald Trump that we got a conservative majority on the Supreme Court. While they certainly have let us down on occasion, they're certainly better than the alternative. And the Democrats are still fuming about their ruling banning affirmative action, which is just a code word.
Wait. That's June 29th, 2023. So it didn't have nothing to do with no election or nothing like that. They had already done that beforehand, right? Damn. So
meaning anti-whiteism, black favoritism. And that was last June, but now we're finally starting to see some of the new data on the effects of this fantastic decision.
While all eyes were on the DNC this week, MIT released some data that confirmed our worst fears about the Supreme Court. The university's incoming class will be significantly less diverse than in previous years, and that's thanks to last year's ruling that gutted affirmative action. MIT, one of the first to release enrollment data since that ruling, says its percentage of black students dropped to...
Now look, it says Asian up from 40 to 47, which I don't know. I don't think that's true because they be complaining that they are down. So I don't think that's actually true. It says white Caucasian they claim that they're down. I also don't think that's true. Hispanic went from 16 to 11, right? And of course, African American went from 15 to 5. And I didn't even know if it was no more Indian looking, Asian looking Indians left. So I don't even know about them anyway. So
5% from 15% last year. And the percentage of Hispanic and Latino students dropped to 11%, down from 16%. Overall, all racial and ethnic minority groups had a decrease in enrollment except for Asian Americans, who had a 7% increase.
Well, good for them. Congratulations.
Now, Listen, now somebody's lying here, right? Because here you have Asians saying how their actual percentage is decreasing. You know what I'm saying? And which is true, you know. Now, I don't. They said Indians went down 1%, even though there was 2% already, right? So he's saying, all right, let me see.
And this new data sure does debunk the conspiracy about white supremacy in America. Unfortunately, we still got a long ways to go to get rid of the systemic black privilege in America. Sure does debunk the conspiracy about white supremacy in America. Unfortunately, we still got a long ways to go to get rid of the systemic black privilege in America. I'm sure.
Now think about this. Now he's saying it's black privilege, and they're down negative 10%, and white people are down 1%, even to his BS. You know what I'm saying? But they have some weird thing going on with, like, especially white dudes and Asian bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they can't reproduce, and I guess they think Asians, but they got Denisovan blood, so they can't really reproduce either. You know what I'm saying? But so
enrollment, except for Asian Americans, who had a 7% increase.
Well, good for them. Congratulations. And this new data sure does debunk the conspiracy about white supremacy in America. Unfortunately, we still got a long ways to go to get rid of the systemic black privilege in America. I'm sure you heard this news by now.
Breaking just now, the Illinois Supreme Court on overturning actor Jussie Smollett's conviction on allegations that he had staged a racist and homophobic attack against him.
Yo, ain't he a mixed person, bro? But that's not even the subject.
Himself in downtown Chicago in 2019 and lied to police.
So out of all the things in crime-ridden Chicago that the Democrat legislatures and legal system is working on, they decided to declare Jussie Smollett basically to be innocent. And as Donald Trump continues to unveil the nominees for his new cabinet, the liberal media continues to have meltdowns over every single one of them, especially because of.
All right, I ain't listened to this far.
Where's a black man being nominated by you for your cabinet? Has anyone noticed there's no black that has been nominated on his cabinet? That needs to be raised. Right. Rather than who's talking, let's deal with what we're talking about.
Actually, no, sir. I haven't noticed the racial makeup of Donald Trump's incoming cabinet because I was.
See, so he spent this whole video. See, this is how they do this gaslighting thing. He spent this whole video talking about racial discrimination against white people, but now all of a sudden that is all white people. He doesn't notice it, you know. But see, I'm not saying that it's something wrong with him. I'm saying it's something wrong with you, because when we looked at Negroes, African Americans, or black people all around the world, like, it's true, like we're all set, but specifically African Americans, we have been talking about people of color, all other groups. And even when we say ourselves, we like, I don't want to discriminate against this and this and this and this. We cannot seem to come together to do our own thing, right? As stupid as they are. Go ahead, my brother.
Okay, 4K. Remember this here. Remember, and I mean, I've seen it before, but I've seen it when you hit on one of your prompts. It's been a while back. What Dr. Amos Wilson was talking about, the people of color, about multiculturalism. You know what I'm saying? Now, you remember from the 60s, the 70s, well, we, the black people in America, we were the prime minority group. Okay. But like you said, okay, towards the late 60s, that's when they started, when white folks, they think, white folks are smart, evilly smart. When I say smart, I'm talking about what I'm saying. I'm not saying they smart like smart, but I'm saying they wickedly evil smart. You know what I'm saying? They said, okay, well, we got to do something to stem this tide. Because, in the 60s, in the late 60s, when you got past the civil rights movement, you had brothers and sisters, like from Brother Malcolm and other brothers, even when you go to like the black Marxists and socialists, we could talk about them later. But I'm saying, but they had an agenda. You know what I'm saying? And it was like us coming together, us doing for each other, us sticking together. Okay, well, the white folks say, well, we got to do something about this. Dr. Bobby Ray said, white women seen their men in trouble. And so they came up with white feminism. White feminism was to come in to divide black men and black women. Okay. Now after they did that, then they came up, Dr. Wright said, then they said after they did that, they got our women to educate the elite class of our women, the one who was spokesman. Okay. After they did that, what they did, they came up with this other shit, with the student struggle. So you had, where you see these white students, the Weather Underground and WASP and all these motherfuckers right here, who are, hey, we sympathize with you guys, you the Black Panthers and you the Black Revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? And so next thing you know, you got brothers going from black self-defense and black self-determination to, the working class people of the world. You know what I'm saying? To the working class people, meaning no color. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't color, it wasn't black people. It was the working class people, the poor blacks and poor whites and Puerto Ricans and, American Indians and all this other shit. You know what I'm saying? These was the seeds of what? Multiculturalism. They came later with the gay movement, with in the 60s. I heard Dr. Huey P. Newton myself. He was talking about, one of the marginalized group. They was in the forefront of accepting, like the gay movement, because they had the gay liberation movement in the early 70s too. You know what I'm saying? But they had this thing, I know you probably heard of Stonewall in New York City, where the gays rebelled and said, we loud and proud, we want to be here. We queer and want to be here and heard. You know what I'm saying? And the Panthers kind of like, embrace them, not saying we love gay shit, but I'm saying, embrace them as a marginalized group. See, that became the flash word, marginalized groups. So this would lead into the 80s, the late 80s into the early 90s. This would become the multiculturalism thing. Remember, Dr. John Henry Clark said they made us go for a trick bag called multiculturalism. Dr. Amos Wilson said that. He said, we're going to show you what, he said, you're going to find in 1994. He said, you're going to find out what multiculturalism means. Multiculturalism going to mean, okay, it started off as a black thing. Okay, but see, with us inviting everybody else to the cookout and us fighting for everybody else, multiculturalism, all the other groups came in. The Hispanic, the women, the gays, and all these other groups, the so-called marginalized groups came in. And what happened was the black shit got pushed to the back burner. You know what I'm saying? We got pushed to the back burner, you know what I'm saying? And all of them came up. And the thing about it, what Dr. Amos Wilson said was, if you can't complain about it, this is what you wanted. You wanted multiculturalism. You wanted diversity. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us fighting for ourselves and our own shit and letting everybody else fight for their own shit, you know what I'm saying? We wanted multiculturalism. Like you say, we fight for everybody. Everybody comes to the goddamn cookout. You know what I'm saying? We're going to fight for you. We're going to fight for the Jews. We're going to fight for everybody. The Palestinians. We're going to fight for everybody. What happened when you fought for everybody else, your shit got put to the background, and guess what? Them same motherfuckers you fought for didn't fight for your motherfucking black ass and didn't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I mean, when the multiculturalism was a trick bag. You know what I'm saying? And now this is what you're dealing with today. What you gonna do? You're gonna say, oh man, no, the hell with them immigrants, this shit. Well, you fought for this motherfucking shit. I'm not gonna write that bad.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's just like the brother earlier talking about the law that he fought for because some little white kids got shot up.
Isn't paying any attention to their race, only their qualifications. Something that maybe you should try sometime. The New York Times just published this article about black fragility among Democrat women with the headline, "Disillusioned by the election. Some black women are deciding to rest. They're just exhausted and just unbelievably burdened by Kamala Harris losing."
See, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Or hopefully it ain't resting. Hopefully it's quitting to save them. And it ain't just black women. It's unfortunately, we saw many Negroes, period, right, who are done fighting to save America. Thank goodness. Now maybe you would fight to save yourself, right? Because you have idiots like him who don't know what the hell he's talking about, right? And
here's MSNBC's Joy Reid explaining how tough the struggle is for her to have to live with white people in a multicultural society, yearning for apparently to go back to Africa.
And so we're
now. Would you get that Joy Reid doesn't want to live in a multicultural society and want to go back to Africa? You think she would really say that? Right? Because that's not actually a diss, right? Because I don't want to live in a multicultural society and I wouldn't be mad if I'm back in Africa, right? But is that really a diss? Well, to us it is, you know what I'm saying? Because, we think so. See, for him to be back in like Ukraine or one of them Albania, like one of them backwood East European countries starving to death, you know what I'm saying? Like that would be an insult to him, right? Where they are back on their dark ages, Neanderthal stuff, you know what I'm saying, before they learn how to bathe and all that type of stuff. That's think of saying go back to such and such as an insult, because if they go back to like Lithuania or wherever he from, like it's like it's abstract poverty for real, you know what I'm saying? Like how they try to make it is projection, you know what I'm saying? So
to go back to Africa.
And so we're struggling to have one society, one culture, one set of mores, one set of values, which is so
we are struggling to do so. Is that right, Joy Reid? We're struggling. It's difficult for sheep to live with foxes without them getting bitten and eaten. And the sheep is like, yo, why did you eat my baby sheep? And he like, yo, I like veal or whatever a baby sheep is. And the sheep is like, what in the hell is going on? Why won't the wolf let my baby sheep go to school with the other baby wolves?
We're struggling to have one society, one culture, one set of mores, one set of values, which is so different. And living together is hard. And
it's called
because Joy, would you want look at this idiot's face? Would you want him on a jury? Would you want this fool on a jury? Go ahead, my brother.
No, okay, I was agree. Joy Reid, I mean, I love the sister, but man, that kind of shit, that kind of thinking just make me sick, man.
Yeah. I mean, like, this is what we fighting for to have him in your jury box. Like, I can't be in the same society as this fool here. I don't give a damn who the president is, to be honest with you, right? Because for her, she might be comfortable, right? If her champion had won.
Called America. It's why people come here, no matter what your race, you're supposed to assimilate into American culture.
You're supposed to accept the ways of the Englishmen and shut the hell up. What language did you speak? What was your name before you got here? It doesn't matter. You speak English. You accept the ways of the Englishmen. That's what it is. That's what it is to be an American. That's what it is to be an African American, where you have forgotten who you are and you have accepted the ways of the Englishman. And the Englishman still whoop your ass and say you can never be an Englishman. But you say, oh, sir, I speak proper English. Please let me into the club, sir.
You're supposed to assimilate into American culture, not create little Tijuanas or little Wakandas. You're supposed to be Americans.
It's going to be hard because there's
Wakanda be pissing them off. And the actual movie actually was like the Wakandan people was helping the CIA stop Killmonger from helping black people in America from getting the vibranium.
Hey, yeah, 4K. Like I said, I'm glad you peeped that out. Cause like me and my brother Shakara from the UK, we were talking about this shit. Wakanda was a movie. It might as well had been created by the United States government. You know what I'm saying? The U.S. government should have created that. If they didn't, they should have, because that's all it was. It was some neo-colonial shit. You know what I'm saying? Just an African president, an African leader working for the CIA, working in the head for them. You know what I'm saying? It was some bullshit.
All right, is this your king? This is your king, and this is a lot of African kings. I'm like, yo, is this your king? And the whole time, and you know what we got at the end? A community center. Ain't that something? But they still mad about Wakanda though.
Little compromise between.
What I'm saying, Boke. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Boke.
No, go ahead. Say what you want to say.
I mean, I'm just saying, Killmonger was the hero. You know, Killmonger was Patrice Lumumba. Killmonger was Patrice Lumumba. T'Challa was Mobutu. You know what I'm saying? He was Mobutu. And even if you watch it, because see, I mean, you know, when you're a student of history like me, I even noticed, like, you know, this little old thing how they had T'Challa, you know, the little thing that they had him dressed in. It was the same shit that Mobutu had on. You know what I'm saying? The little thing around his neck. You know, I mean, it was some neo-colonial shit. I mean, it was a movie that was made with an agenda. It was definitely made with an agenda. I'm sorry, okay, go ahead on, bro.
No, that's facts. I agree.
Want to do in the world and what we want to be. You know, I'm not sure that this experiment can work, to be honest. And it's never been.
Even Joy Reid said this is. Oh, I guess you're talking.
The two things we want to do in the world and what we want to be. You know, I'm not sure that this experiment can work, to be honest. And it's never been done. I mean, the only other country that's even similar to us is South Africa, but they're 80% black. And
South Africa? What? The 80% black people living in the shanty towns compared to the cracker
country that's even similar to us is South Africa, but they're 80% black and like 15% white. So they're the flip side of us. They obviously have had the same history, same issues, same tragedy, same Jim Crow, you know.
Same kinds of anti-white crimes that you're not supposed to talk about.
Making a multiracial democracy is almost impossible. Most countries are fairly monoracial. China, Japan, you know, England is about 9% black.
Yo, you know something that happened when Joy Reid spit that that Afro ethnic. I guess that's what she on it now. She a Pan-African again. So
hey, well, hey, 4K, you crazy, boy. Hey, look up. Yeah, exactly, man. You know what? You know what she did? Okay, I'm gonna say this, 4K. Now you know, Joy Reid. Now, if you know her history, okay, she's Congolese. She's Congolese. I think her father was Congolese. Her mother, father, one of them was Congolese, and one of them from Guyana. So she's Guyanese and Congolese. So she's a diaspora African just like us. You know what I'm saying? We Africans in America. She's an African from Guyana, and you know, and from the continent. What I'm saying is, this sister has all 4K. She has always known this. Joy Reid is not stupid. She's always known that. But see, 4K, when you join the Democratic Party, and I'm not saying that like as like the Republican Party or something else. I mean, you know me, I went into voting shit. I don't give a damn about none of that shit. You know, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I don't believe in the American political system. You know what I'm saying? I believe in black people having our own shit. But what I'm saying is, when you join either party, but especially like her, when you join the Democratic Party, you got to tote that party line. You know what I'm saying? When if you're gonna have a platform on TV, you got to push that party platform. But I mean, a sister like her, she has consciousness, but she chose to put her consciousness aside for a minute, you know, for a while, for a long time, for that dollar. You know, for the dollar and for the platform. But she knows better than this. I'm talking about she knows better. She already knows. Like what she's saying now, she's not just now coming to that conclusion. She been knew that.
But that's what I'm saying though, brother. Like, but if she knows, like, does she know that if she's willing to take $1 to even throw it away? How much?
But you know what? Yeah, but 4K, what I'm saying, you know, hey, look here, this is me and you talking. You know, some Negroes will sell their soul for $1. But you know what? Some niggas will sell their soul for a long time. But sometimes some Negroes will say, man, it ain't worth it. You know what I'm saying? I done did this for soul. Because you know what? Go back and look at some. Let me show you something real quick. Okay, a lot of our people, you know, when we study Black Eye Stories, we think about Tucson Louverture. We think of Tucson Louverture. Okay, right here in my own state where I'm from, in Louisiana, we had a brother named, well, I'm gonna call him brother anyway, but he was a mixed race guy. You know, his name was Charles Desloan, and he was a Haitian. Two things about both of these guys. Now Desloan led a revolution, the 1811 rebellion in Louisiana, the German Coast Rebellion. He and an African brother named Kwame from Ghana. They led their rebellion. Okay, Toussaint led the rebellion, he had picked up the reins and led the rebellion in Haiti. No, after he got kicked off by the other Africans. Okay, one thing about it, this is what I'm tying this in. What did they both of those brothers have in common? Before they led rebellions, guess what they was, Forecast? They were slave drivers. They were slave drivers. Toussaint was a superintendent on the place. He was a slave driver before he became a revolutionary. He was his title was superintendent of Negroes. And he was a straw boss. He was a slave driver. He was over the slaves. He was an overseer before he became a revolutionary. He was an overseer on a plantation, on the Breeder plantation in Haiti. Charles Sloan was a slave driver in Louisiana in German Coast on the plantation he was from. So in other words, look here, they was kicking black people ass at first. You know what I'm saying? But just listen, they was keeping niggas in line. But what happened, I'm saying, they eventually had a change of heart. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just correlating that with Joy Reid. She knows after being what she was for so long, she finally said, man, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna right there. Go ahead and answer, man.
No, but I just wanted to ask you, I feel what you're saying, like, but see, this is what and I'm curious about this, right? Now, say it had been the other way, because so she knows about all of this, but if it had been the other way and Kamala had won, right? Like, would she be saying that? And even that, like, even some people is mad at me and probably won't be in here, like, maybe no time soon, maybe ever, you know what I'm saying? And if that person had won, you know, maybe it wouldn't be that way. But if that's the case, like, how much is that really worth? How much do you really know, right? How much is that change really? How much is it really? But like even do you think that, like with her, like she knows it, but do you think that she would come to grips if the other person had won, or would she just be comfortable in the situation she's in?
No, if it kicked off, I'd have had a bullet for her ass. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Forecast? No, that kind of person, I'm saying that's what I was talking about first when I first started talking. Some of these Negroes got to get dealt with. You know what I'm saying? You can't have wishy-washy. You're going to either be with us or against us. You know what I'm saying? And like you saying, if Kamala had won, she'd have still been with that program. You know what I'm saying? And that program was still the same program. It was just a little bit less of a burden on the African, on the enslaved Africans. Okay, it ain't gonna be as hard under us as it was under the other ones. You know what I'm saying? Well, that's the shit that they're gonna tell you. But I'm saying no. I mean, I was just explaining what she was. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that type of Negro mentality, you know, like if we finally all those field slaves got together, no, that kind of Negro mentality get a bullet too.
Yeah, and I feel you. And I'm just saying, like, because it's not even just with her, because it's even people that even won't come in here, like, or maybe mad at me, you know, or like feel some type of way, you know what I'm saying, because of that. And I mean, maybe like I feel some type of way because I'm like, I look at it as that way, because would you have felt that same way, even though you would be in the same situation, but would you still feel the same way? You know what I'm saying? Like you saying, like if Kamala had won, she knows that, but she still be doing that, you know? And that's a part of the thing that was like pissing me off, because like if she had won, would they still be acting the same way, you know? And I'm glad that it happened, you know what I'm saying? Because now at least you're going to do something and you ain't got nobody to rely on, you know what I'm saying? But that's just my thing that I'm wondering, because, you know, it is what it is. And if you have that knowledge, like what good is it if you would be like, it's always depending on what Europeans do. Like if you get, oh, well, you know, Master Trump, he whips you now. Like Now, Massa Harris, she cool. Now, Massa Biden and Harris, they's work you, but you can eat ice cream on Sundays and stuff. You can go to church by yourself on Sunday as long as you won't do nothing crazy now, you know. But Master Trump, he won't even let you get no ice cream. That's how we sound, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why I'm like, they might be mad at me, but I don't know. I might be mad at them, you know what I'm saying? For people who have that mindset. Anyway.
Forecast today.
Go ahead.
I was looking today on IG. It was they had somebody, this dude. I think he was the infamous African. He's on IG. He had a prompt today on IG, and he had Dr. Amos Wilson talk about the black elite. He was talking about how voting wasn't gonna get you freedom, and how politics wasn't gonna get you freedom. So voting black elite Negroes into office wasn't gonna get you freedom. You know what I'm saying? You know, wasn't gonna get you black power and everything. And he was, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he was talking about that very thing, man. He said, you know, you vote these Negroes in the office and everything, you know, they're gonna go up there and what they gonna do, they gonna stall shit, hold shit up and stall shit, you know, and do shit just to keep you voting for them, but never do nothing for you anyway. It never even work for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about the same thing. I just want to throw that in though.
No, yeah, especially non-black Negroes.
Yeah, I mean, you know, so I'm saying what he was saying was, you know, these niggas talk about the same thing we talking about like a Joy Reid. You know what I'm saying? You know, these Negroes just they in it for themselves, for self-preservation and what they can get themselves. Like I said, when you had a Negro like Miss Joy Reid or these other Negroes who know what time it is, they know what the deal is, but they refuse. But they go along to get along with the shit. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, hey, you know, this is my meal ticket. This is what I'm gonna get. This is how I'm gonna get paid. This is how I'm gonna take care of me. You know, the hell the rest of these field slaves out there.
Yeah, but don't try to make it seem like it's for black people. It's for you.
Yeah. I mean, until they get to the point where, well, damn, now you up here, white. Okay, we got this white nationalist dude in there. You know, it's gonna be bad now. So now I want to change my tune. You know, no, man, hell no. It's bullshit.
If that was the case, I would have voted for the fool because I knew y'all would have did that. Lord have mercy, because y'all has been cooning out this whole time, Lord. But anyway, my bad, y'all.
Very multiracial country, and we're the only multiracial democracy that's gotten this far.
Certainly sounds like Joy wants to move back to Africa, but of course you're not supposed to say that as a solution to their endless grievances. But that,
you know, it's crazy. If all of us went back to Africa, they'd be over there in like less than a year trying to kidnap us again. And we probably be like, oh, come on in, pale face person. Knowing us.
Because you're not supposed to say that as a solution to their endless grievances. But that does appear to be what she's thinking. And what I'm thinking is there's only 3 more days to order your Trump clause.
We don't give a damn about what he's selling. So now Joy Reid wants to go back to Africa. Thank goodness. How about that? I would have voted for the fool if even Joy Reid wants to go back to Africa. So now I know y'all want to go back to Africa, right? But anyway, my brother, I appreciate you coming on here. You want to say anything? You know, just to wrap up everything we was talking about.
No, man, I had a good time, man. You know, coming on, kicking with you, man, and discussing things, chopping it up, man. You know, talking about the issues and shit. It was good, man. I just really not too much, man. You know, it was good. It was a great show, man. I enjoyed the show, man. Appreciate you, you know, invite me on and everything. What you gonna do tomorrow, man? You gonna come on tomorrow?
No, well, yeah, Koku gonna be on. I'll probably just be listening.
Yeah, you ought to come on, man. That's what I'm saying. You ought to come on. You know, your voice is needed. You know, your voice is valuable. Your voice is valuable, man.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I'll just be enjoying it from listening.
Yeah, I mean, and that's cool too, man. That's cool too. I'm gonna be on. I'm gonna come on. I'm gonna go on. Yeah. If I ain't doing it, I know tomorrow I gotta go over to my mom's house. I had to go over to her place over there and clean up and everything and do some stuff for her. And so I probably get home later in the evening, man. So I get home before 7, but I got to go over there and and clean up and wash and mop and cook and all that stuff. Do my part to help out.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yeah. She want to try to walk a little bit. My mom, she got multiple sclerosis. But we're gonna try to. She says she want to try to do some walking, man. Instead of trying to get out that chair.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go over there and spend a little time over there, man, until the evening time. Then I'm gonna come on to the house, man.
Yeah, I feel you. You definitely got to spend time when you can, and especially go walking. That definitely helps. Especially when you want to. So that's what's up, yo.
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, man. If I come on, I get home in time. I'm gonna come home, and just probably chill out for a little bit, man. I'm gonna come on the show, man, and see what's going on, and probably kick it with the brothers, man, a little bit.
Yeah, Sha. I'm gonna definitely be checking it out. Plus I gotta be working and everything, so I'm gonna be probably checking it out.
Yeah, that's why I want to ask you, man, how everything going, man? You ain't gotta say too much, but I'm saying how everything going.
I'll hit you up and I'll let you know. It's just crazy. A whole lot of stuff that's just going down. I gotta find my own lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Hey, that's why I say don't say too much. I got you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, and I was just thinking about one other thing before I sign off. I was hoping, man, the brother come back on the show. I wanted to get on the show that night, but everybody, people were saying so much stuff. Now I'm talking about brother Commissy, man. I was telling, man, look, man, we gotta do what Malcolm said, man. Look here, okay, you don't believe in this, I don't believe in that either, and other people don't believe in in certain things, but you got to put your religion in the closet, man. Like Malcolm said, leave your religion at home and let's rally around what we could agree on. You know what I'm saying? It was hard for me to listen at that, man. That's why when Commissy was on the show, and him and Cassidra was going at it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah. That was hard. I was listening to you. I say forecast. So I wanted to come on, but I mean, but Commissy, he got a strong voice, and he got a strong opinion, and I think he a good brother, man. I think he a good brother. And we know Cassidra's a great sister, but we gotta I wanted to tell her, Commissy, man, look here, you gotta do you talk about Malcolm, you talk about it, you gotta lay there and put that aside. Do what Malcolm said. Put your religion aside. Let's put your beliefs. We're gonna leave that at home, and we gotta look at the bigger picture, man. That's like when I be on the show with them brothers. Like I'm say, Brother Bakar might come on, and him and Buana get into it over there. The Carl get into it. I don't believe in nothing Carl say. It's for that Marxist shit. And some of Buana shit either. Some of the stuff he talk about. And don't get me wrong, some of what Buana said, I agree with. But I mean, don't none of us agree with everything 100%. But and then sometimes I might kind of have a little Bakar. I think you need to fall back a little bit. And let's all us get together and look at the bigger picture instead, because we don't need to be fighting, man. I don't be liking to see that shit, man. That's why when I hear that, when everybody going at it, I kind of back off. I don't want to get into it, because we might as well be on the manosphere on some other shit, all that arguing and fussing and calling each other out our names. You know what I'm saying? That ain't what we're about, man. I want us to, look here, forecast. You could disagree with what I say. I could disagree with what you say. I could disagree with Cassidra. I could disagree with everybody else, and all of y'all could disagree with me. But the main thing is, I know all of us want one thing: the liberation of black people, of our people. That's our main thing. Now we might have different ways of getting there, but I'm just saying we gotta. Hey, let's come together, and get our shit together. Let's try to do something for the greater good. That's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. We ain't gotta be arguing and call each other out of name. I be getting pissed off, man. This shit, man. I mean, everybody fussing and cussing and raising their voice and talk. I mean, we don't supposed to be doing that shit, man. I mean, how the hell we gonna come together? We can't even talk to each other right. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, man. I don't be liking that shit, man. That's why, you know, like, you know, you have this, hey, man, you guys understand? I say, no, I ain't getting in that podcast. Because I don't like to do all that arguing, man. I mean, hey, me and you, whenever it's just me and you, or it's me, you, and Cassidra, well, we don't never have that shit. And I know we don't agree with each other on everything.
Right.
But we know how to respect each other. And I'm just saying we got to respect each other. That's all. That'll be my closing comments, man.
No, shit, yeah, that was good enough comments for the both of us, my brother. I ain't gonna front, you know, like you said, focus on, and that's why I was trying to stress, you know, focus on what we agree on, right? Whether it be one thing, then and it's some that we can make productive. Well, shit, let's have a meeting. We don't even got to meet on here. We can actually like have video conferences and calls and stuff because we've done all this stuff, and my contact information is still in there. Right. Anytime that y'all want to hit me up, then you can hit me up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and we can, if you have an idea about something you want to do, you can hit me up and we can try to make it work. We can get as many people to come in. But like I said, definitely focus on what we agree on and stop focusing on what we disagree on. That's all I'm trying to tell y'all, you know, like we all got different beliefs, opinions, and all that stuff. Especially with the people who are black only, you know what I'm saying? If we black only, then we don't need to look for stuff to disagree on, you know what I'm saying? So I agree with that. And I'm gonna stop there because that was good enough to be my last words too, you know. So shouts out to Cassidra in the building. I don't know if I'm gonna be back until Wednesday. But Wednesday at 8:30, we're gonna be back with Cassidra. Shouts out to Raw in the building. Always appreciate Raw holding it down. Blanca, I don't know, Blanca was listening the whole time. She was here before we even started, but shouts out to her. And definitely shouts out to my brother Anthony for coming through. I appreciate you for coming on here, my brother. Shouts out to you all day. And you know, it's just we see the personality of America, but what scares me is our personality because we some clones and sellouts and some cowards, man. I don't know what to tell us. So, but I got hope. Don't pass this trauma down to your children. That's another thing too. So, as always, man, we have got to start standing for something, or we're gonna keep falling for anything.
Peace out, black people. Peace out, forecast.